Hi, I'm Kelly Page, Women's Healthy Living Coach. Today we're going to get into our shoulders. We carry so much tension in our shoulders since we spend so much time typing, on devices, driving, all of that can build up in our shoulders. Sometimes that's our set point. When we get stressed, we carry it in our shoulders, it builds up. So we're going to do some strengthening, some lengthening, some stretching today so we can feel good in our bodies from shoulder and head to toe. So we're just going to start in Tadasana. You can start with your feet hip width apart or together, and just take a second and close your eyes. Let's just arrive in the room, get centered in our bodies. And if you're comfortable, you can close your eyes, and if not, you can keep a soft gaze. And let's just take a few long, slow, deep inhales and exhales together. Inhaling, filling the lungs, and exhaling, releasing through the mouth. And with the release, feel your shoulders drop. Inhale, filling your belly. Exhale, release your shoulders. See if you can begin to drop some of the tension in your shoulders and in your neck area. And one more big inhaling in. Exhale through the nose, dropping the shoulders. And now we're just going to start by taking some shoulder rolls. Let's keep the feet hip width apart for this. Soft bend in the knees. And just start bringing the shoulders up, back, and around. Make sure you breathe while you do it. We're just going to start to bring some gentle movement into those shoulders. That's going to bring some blood flow there. And then start to get them bigger. You might want to start to bring your elbows into it. See how your elbows pointing forward and back can really help open up the chest area. Again, breathing with inhales and exhales as you drop them back, your shoulders back. And then make them even bigger. Get your elbows, your hands. Keep those knees bent. You might get your whole body involved. And just feel the difference of just bringing some movement to this usually pretty tense area. And now let's do some full arm swings. Make sure you have room behind you. And just bringing the arms up, back, down, and around. And when you do it, try not to puff your chest up too much because you really want to keep it in your shoulders. So up, back, and around. Up, back, and around, exhaling, inhaling up, exhaling down. Let's do two more. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. And let's go backwards now. We'll start with just those rolls using the shoulders. So you're going to come forward with the shoulders. And gradually you're going to make the circles bigger. Incorporating your elbows. Make sure the breath can go into any tight spaces. Send the breath up to the shoulders and the neck area. And, get your whole body involved with the shoulders here. And then let's do those really big arm rolls forward. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Two more. And then just take a moment, put your hands by your side, feel your weight evenly distributed in your feet. Just ground down. Just see that little bit of movement. See what that did for your shoulders. They may feel a little tingly. It may just have a little more energy flowing. Your arms might feel some energy. And now let's do a few flowing movements. We'll go to the top of our mat. We're just going to inhale, sweep the arms up. And then exhale, fold your body down, bending at the waist. And if your hips are tight and your hamstrings are tight, you can separate your feet hip width apart. So you can fold down, put a generous bend in the knee that'll help support your low back. And then just fold over, let your head hang. You can leave your arms just down to the floor or hanging. You can cross your arms, put your hands in your elbows, in your nooks, and just feel the gentle release. Try and see if you can get your weight evenly distributed between your toes and your heels. Make sure you're breathing. And the next breath, you can put your left hand down between your feet, in front of your feet, and your right hand reaches up. Try and keep your shoulders on your back best you can. It's okay to bend the opposite knee from your arm. And just start to open up your shoulders in a different way. Again, you're breathing. Pull that right hip back. Shoulders down the back. And then switch. Right hand down, kind of in front of your face between your feet. Left arm reaches up. Ideally, they're in the same plane, but your shoulders might be extra tight, and that might be hard to do. Again, it's okay to put a generous bend in the right leg. Make sure to pull that left hip back. It tends to want to come forward. Pull it back. Left arm reaches up. Right arm pushes down. Shoulder blades down your back. And breathe. And then the next exhale, you bring both hands down. And we're going to come to a plank. Step your feet back, hands under your shoulders, and let's just hold it here for a second. Do your best to push down into the floor. You don't want to collapse in your shoulders like this. You want to push down on the floor. So your head is in line with your spine. Your legs are straight. Hamstrings engaged. Stomach engaged. You're going to pull your core up, your pelvis up. And see if you can find a little buoyancy here, a little lightness. This can be a very tough posture, but is there any room for lightness? Just a few more breaths, getting those shoulders warmed up, the core warmed up, the whole body warmed up here. And on your next exhale, you're going to slowly start to drop your body to the floor in one piece, bending the elbows. Slowing, slow, 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 and then all the way to the ground. And you'll start by bringing your left arm out, directly out from the shoulder. And with your right arm, you're going to push your entire body, turn it to the side. You can bring your right foot back behind you, if that feels good. But you're basically going to get a nice stretch to the left shoulder. Use the opposite hand to support you. Put your head on the ground. Go only as far as feels good. Yes, it's going to have a little bit of tension there, but you don't want any pain, any sharp pain. And then just breathe. Send breath to the shoulder joint. One more long, slow, deep breath. And then just roll to the other side. The right arm reaches out, directly out from the shoulder. Left hand pushes the body and turns it. The opposite foot comes behind. A little kickstand, support your body with the opposite hand. Really pushing your hand down, the opposite hand down into the ground. So you can start to feel a little bit of a shoulder release. Let your breath help you. Let it soften any tough edges. And on the next inhale, you just roll back to center. And you go to hands and knees. Let's just do a few cat-cows here, where we inhale, look up, drop the belly, lift the chin, exhale, rounding. When you round, you can really get between those shoulder blades. Try to pinpoint between your shoulder blades as you go up, Inhaling, releasing everything. Exhaling, bringing everything in and up. Do a few more of your own. Try to get into any tight spots. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhale, chin to chest. One more. Inhale up. And exhale, chin to chest. And then you're just going to walk your knees back a little bit and go into puppy pose. So you're going to keep your hips over your knees for this and just bring your hands forward. Your chin might come to the mat, and you're again going to get a deep stretch between the shoulder blades. Keep those hands pressing down into the ground. Keep your shoulder blades on your back. One more breath. You'll come back to hands and knees. You can do one more cat-cows to recalibrate. And then let's do our first downward dog of the day. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Hands firmly ground into the mat. Pushing back, pulling the heels down. Feel the spine elongate. And here's another position where you want to make sure your shoulders are down your back. You don't want them up to your ears. You want to really push them down, push them back, and let them release. On your next inhale, you come forward to plank, shoulders over your hands, over your wrists. And you can either keep your feet hips width apart, you can stack them, bring them together, you can bring them out wider. And we're going to come into side plank, Vashisthasana. So rolling onto the right edge of the foot, you're just going to turn both feet and lift the arm to the sky. Now this is a pretty advanced posture. If you want to put one foot down for support, you want to make sure your shoulder stays over your wrist. And if you need to use an extra foot with that, you can also bring your other foot down. There's several modifications you can make, because if you can't push your shoulder out from your wrist, you're going to end up collapsing, and that's going to end up causing more pain, which is not what we're trying to do with our shoulders right here. So whatever modification you've taken, whichever version, hold it for 2 more breaths. And then switch. We'll come back to plank, and then just roll to the other side. Doing whatever variation you did, you might have sides that are different. Again, you can bring the right foot forward. Make sure you're pushing down off the mat, not collapsing into the shoulder. You can also come down with the other foot. That feels better. But really feel your shoulders, your chest open in this posture. Last 2 breaths, you could decide to try a different position, maybe stack the heels if you can do this. And then both hands down, and we'll go right back to downward dog. Let it feel good. If you want to shake it out a little bit, bend both knees, get into the sides of the body. Feel free to do that. Let it feel good. Done some work on our shoulders already. On your next inhale, you're just going to step forward to the front of your mat, feet together for hip width apart. We'll do a gentle breath in and exhale, looking down. Inhale, hands above the head and clasping at the heart. And just take a moment back into Tadasana now. Just see how your body already feels a little different. Imagine it probably does. I'm going to face you and we're going to do eagle pose. So go ahead and start with both knees bent, and we're going to pick up the right leg and start to bend it over. The left, we're going to cross above the knee. And if you can fit your foot behind your calf, great. If not, you can use a kickstand. At the same time, we're going to bring our right arm under our left. Ideally, we clasp hands, but just connect wherever you can. And then you're going to try and pull your elbows and hands a little forward and up. Again, don't strain, but feel how that activation with the hands clasped together, the elbows pointing forward. You don't want your elbows above your chin, but ideally you're lifting and pulling a little bit so you can feel that stretch between your shoulder blades. And you're bending down, getting the right knee or the right leg above the left knee. And ideally it'll go behind the left calf, or just use a little kickstand with your foot. Lots of breathing here. This engages a lot of muscles, can be pretty challenging. And then your next inhale, come out of it, you can bring your arms up, and then let's just switch right to the next side. Just bending the legs, left leg over, left arm under. Hands clasp best you can, elbows up and out. And you're also trying to keep your shoulders square and your hips square forward. And this is a challenging posture, so be where you are, two sides, each can be a little different. If you can get the left foot behind the right calf, great. If not, it can just hang in the air. You really want to squeeze your thighs together like you're squeezing your arms. And again, feel that stretch between the shoulder blades. One more deep breath. And then we'll inhale up and exhale. Let's just fold down again. And if you want, we can do feet hip width apart. And let's do one more stretching with the right arm up, left hand between the legs. You might be able to go a little further now that we've done some stretching. Bend the opposite knee, the left knee. And then switch. Right hand down, left arm up. Bend the right knee. See if you can keep those shoulders in the same plane. See if you feel a little more space there. Exhaling down. And then let's step back to plank. And then right back to downward dog. And on your next inhale, right leg reaches up, comes all the way through, and we're going to go to crescent. So back foot stays elevated, right foot is anchoring into the ground, the generous bend in the knee, arms overhead. And from here, we're just going to do a couple shoulder rolls. The same rolls we did in Tadasana. Let's do them here. It's a little more challenging, so you have to balance. And then let's reverse. And now we're going to do opposite hand and do a little bit of a twist. So right arm is back, left arm forward. You can stay right here, or if you'd like to do an exalted warrior, exalted crescent, the right hand goes back to the left leg, and you reach up with the left arm. You can really feel a nice stretch through your hip flexor as well. And again, we're just keeping those shoulders open. Shoulders are down your back, away from your ears. And breathe. And one more deep breath in. And you're just going to drop your back heel down. The toes will turn in a bit. You'll be in heel-toe arch alignment. Whoops. And from here, this is going to run into warrior one. And then let's clasp the hands behind. If you get your palms together, great. Again, we want to keep those shoulders rolling down the back. You don't want your shoulders up by your ear. Really work to keep them down. And this is great right here. This is a great shoulder stretch, but if you're ready for more, you can start to bend forward. Keep your spine long as possible and start to bend. Bringing those arms up and over your head. Go inside the knee. And see how far you can get a nice stretch through those shoulders. Keep anchoring down through both feet. Clasping the arms, shoulders down the back. And then inhale, lifting up. Let's bring the arms up overhead. And let's just go right to plank. And from here, we're going to go to downward dog. Take a big inhale in and a big sigh out. One more. Inhale in. Exhale, sighing out. And then we'll lift our left leg up. And then inhale and then exhale, bring it through to crescent. Arms come up. Want your feet about shoulder width apart. Let it feel good. Keep a tuck in the pelvis. Feel that stretch through your hip flexor. Arms are up. And then let's start to do those shoulder rolls. Inhaling up, back and around. Up and back and around. And then let's reverse. Bring them forward. And then we'll twist. Right hand comes forward, left goes back. You can stay here or exalt your crescent with the left arm, left hand back on your opposite leg. Right hand reaches up. Left hip pulls back. And you have a little bit of opposition here where you're grounding down through the feet and you're lifting up through the arm. Get a nice stretch to the side body as well. Send breath to the hips, shoulders. And then you're just going to drop that back heel down. Toes will turn in a bit. You're about heel to arch alignment. Keeping a generous bend in the front leg. Clasping the hands behind. You might want to try the opposite grip. Ideally, you're getting your palms together, but that is tough, so just shoot for that. And then you can stay right here. Make sure you're putting those shoulder blades down your back, keeping your shoulders out of your ears. And then slowly lean forward, keeping that spine long. You go inside your knee. The arms will come up and over. Again, working to keep that clasp tight, shoulders down the back. Balancing between the two legs, equal weight distribution. Two more breaths. And then inhale, reaching back up. And then exhale, hands to plank. And we'll just go back to downward dog. Shake it out here. Bending the legs, feeling into the side body. And then we're just going to roll forward to plank. And then come all the way down to the ground. And from here, you're going to have your legs come together. And we're gonna do that clasp behind our back again and come up for Shalabhasana. So hands clasped just like we did before. Shoulders are down the back. And this is a great stretch right here for your shoulders. If you want more, you can also bring your feet up, legs up. Make sure you're pushing your pelvis into the ground. You're reaching back with those hands. And you're breathing. This is a very big shoulder opener, heart opener. One more breath. And then exhale. Go ahead, you can slide back to child's pose. Hips on heels. You would keep your arms forward. You can bring them back. Put your head down. Just let your shoulders roll forward. You can probably feel good right now. Inhale, coming up to your knees. We're going to do one nice stretch, one last nice stretch for your shoulders. Come forward to hands and knees. You're just going to lift your right arm up and then thread it underneath. You're going to thread the needle. So your right shoulder hits the ground, your right ear. And your left arm can serve to help stabilize you. Try to keep your hips level best you can. Feet are on the ground. Really think about just getting a nice stretch for your right shoulder. And that might mean bringing your right hip back a little bit. We got some good blood flowing through our shoulders and body. So now let's just rest and release. On the next inhale, you push down through your left arm, reach your right arm up and back to all fours, and then just lift the left arm up and thread that under your body. Left ear to the mat, right hand stabilizes. You're going to pull back with the right hip here. And then inhale, you push down to the right arm, left arm goes up, goes back down. You can do a cleansing cat-cow just to keep everything back in alignment. And then just come to a seat, comfortable seat on the mat. Just feel the difference. You might want to do a few shoulder rolls up, back, and around. Just feel the difference in bringing a little attention and movement into that shoulder area. And let's take a few long, slow, deep breaths together. Let's inhale up. Exhale out of the mouth, down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Thank you for moving your body with me today. I hope your shoulders are feeling a little bit better, stronger, leaner, longer, a little less tension, and I hope you have a great day. Namaste.